Hi, my name's Trev Hutchings and this is 3 ways to connect the Roland Ax Edge to a synth wirelessly. The Roland Ax Edge has built-in Bluetooth Midi that connects to a smartphone or a tablet to use the editor app. But the same Bluetooth Midi can be used to connect the Roland Ax Edge wirelessly to a synth. First, here is how to turn on the Bluetooth Midi on the Roland Ax Edge. Turn on the Ax Edge. Press the menu button. Press the right arrow button 5 times so it says System on the display. Press the Enter button. Press the right arrow button 7 times so it says Bluetooth on the display. Press the plus button. Press the exit button 2 times. Here is how to wirelessly connect to a synth that has Midi DIN in and Midi DIN out sockets. And for this method, you're going to need a CME Midi master. Plug a Midi master into the Midi out and Midi in DIN sockets on your synth. Turn on the Ax Edge. Turn on the Ax Edge Bluetooth Midi. Then turn on the synth. And here is how to connect to a synth that has a Midi USB host port, or when using a Midi USB host device. If your synth has a Midi USB host port, you just need a CME Midi Bud Pro. If you're going to use a Midi USB host device, then you will need the Midi USB host device, CME Midi Bud Pro, and 2 Midi DIN cables. Plug a Midi Bud Pro into the USB Midi host socket on the synth. Turn on the Ax Edge. Turn on the Ax Edge Bluetooth Midi, then turn on the synth. Plug a Midi DIN cable into the Midi DIN in socket on the Midi USB host device. Plug the other end into the Midi DIN out socket on the synth. Plug a Midi DIN cable into the Midi DIN out socket on the Midi DIN USB host device. Plug the other end into the Midi DIN in socket on the synth. Now plug the Midi Bud Pro into the USB port on the Midi USB host device. Turn on the Ax Edge. Turn on the Ax Edge Bluetooth Midi. Turn on the Midi USB host device. Then turn on the synth. And here is how to connect to a synth that only has a MIDI USB port. For this you're going to need a CME WIDI Bud Pro, a MIDI USB host device, a USB cable to connect between your synth and the host device, and a MIDI DIN cable to use as a loopback. Plug both ends of the MIDI DIN cable into the MIDI USB host device to create a loopback. Plug the USB hub into the USB MIDI host USB port. Plug the WIDI Bud Pro into the USB hub. Connect the synth to the USB hub with a USB cable. Turn on the Ax Edge, turn on the Ax Edge Bluetooth MIDI, turn on the MIDI USB host device, then turn on the synth. If you enjoyed this video, do give us a thumbs up and click on that subscribe button. Cheers!